So in this video, I'm going to continue looking at average rate of change for problem number 2. Now we've changed, I'm going to zoom in, I've changed the interval in this problem, all right? And so depending on the problem, depends on what interval we're going to get. So in this one, we've got the interval -1 to 3. So -1 is our first x, and +3 is our second x. So I want to look at problem part A here. All right, so function f of x passes through the points -1, -3. So I've got my first x value here, and 3, 5, and I have my second x value. So using these two ordered pairs, right, x1, y1, and x2, y2, I'm going to go ahead and use slope formula. So 5 minus -3 over 3 minus -1. All right, be really careful with your negative signs with these problems. So 5 minus -3 is going to be 8, and 3 minus -1 is going to be 4. So 8 over 4 should be 2. All right, so we have that average rate of change for part A just using our ordered pairs. I'm going to slide on over to part B here. Now, part B, we've got a table of values. So my first x value that I'm looking for is -1, which is right here. So there's -1, -9. And if off to the side here, I'm just going to write that ordered pair. You don't have to write that out, right? So this is going to be x1, y1. And then I also want to find where x is equal to 3. So keep going down your chart, and there's x equals to 3. And in this case, it's 3, 7 is my ordered pair. So 3, 7. So this is going to be x2, y2. And now that I have those ordered pairs, I'm going to follow the exact same process that I did with problem part A. So I'm going to take y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 7 minus -9 is going to be positive 16. I'll get my signs right there. 3 minus -1 is 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. All right. Now these won't always turn out to be nice integer values. You can get fractions, you can get decimals, you can definitely get negative numbers. All of it's possible. All right. So I'm going to slide on down to part C, and I'm going to remind myself what my interval is before I go all the way down, and I can't see that anymore. All right, so part C, we've got this graph, and we're looking for our interval from -1 to 3. All right, so let's see, here's 0, so if I go over -1, and my graph is all the way up here, okay, at, what is that, positive 21? So let's see, -1, 21. Okay, and now I want to find out what happens to my graph at 3. So from the origin, 1, 2, 3. Well, that one's a little bit easier to find because it's right there at 3, 0. Okay, so you could... I'm going to show you how to do the ordered pairs again. The other thing you could do is just do rise over run. You want to be careful in this case. So you start at the far left. In this case, our rise is actually moving down. So this would be -21. And then you'd move over 3 units, or actually 4 units total. So it'd be -21 over 4. Now, having said that, let's show it to you mathematically. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I keep zooming in and out. My apologies on that. So this is going to be x1, y1. And this is going to be x2, y2. And I'm going to use those values in the slope formula. So 0 minus 21 over 3 minus -1. Well, 0 minus 21 is -21. And 3 minus -1 is 4. Now, 21 over 4 can't be reduced, but I am going to turn it into a decimal just to see what I get here. So it's going to be -5.25. So either one of these answers is fine, okay? And so that's going to be And if you remember, I said when I was counting it out, right, down 21 to the right 4, down 21 to the right 4. So on a graph, you could actually just count it out like that. Okay, part D. Oh, we've got a function again. All right. So I need to know what's happening to this function at -1, and I need to know what's happening to this function at 3. So I'm going to show you actually a slightly different way to do this one. I'm going to go ahead and pop up Calculate 84 again. All right, it actually still has the stuff from my last problem, so let me clear that out. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of putting in the whole function as a graph, what I'm going to do instead is just replace all of these x's with -1 and just use parentheses. So I'm going to do parentheses -1 to the 4th, and I'm just using a little caret key, minus 6 times -1 to the 3rd, plus -1 minus 5. Right? So every single place in this function where I had an x to the 4th minus 6x to the 3rd plus x, all of those x's I replaced with -1 and then threw in a minus 5 at the end. All right, so that's going to give me the point -1, 1. And now I'm going to repeat that, but this time instead of using -1, I'll use 3. So let's see, 3 to the 4th. I need to move my little cursor there. Let's see, minus 6 times 3 to the 3rd plus 3 minus 5. And I get the handy dandy value of -83. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave Calculate 84 up, and I'll just keep using it. So let's see, we've got x1, y1, x2, y2. So -83 minus 1 over 3 minus -1. So -84 over 4. So let's see, -84 divided by 4 is -21. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Calculate 84 there. All right, so we have just found all of our average rate of change in this problem for the interval -1 to 3. Now, I also put in the same question at the end of problem number 2 that I put in at the end of problem number 1. So I want to take a quick look. Using the rates that you found in A through D, determine which of the functions has the greatest average rate of change over the interval -1 to 3. Now, you'll notice some of these numbers are positive, some of them are negative. Remember, ignore the positives and negatives and just look at the number itself. So part A, you have a change of 2. Part A, you have a change of 4. Part C, you have a change of 5.25. And part D, we have a change of 21. All right. Whether let's say you're losing $21 and somebody else is gaining $4, right? There was a plus 4 up here. You losing $21 is a bigger change than them gaining 4. So that's why when we look at this, we want to look at the actual number value, not necessarily the positive or negative part. So for this one, which one has the function, which function has the greatest average rate of change? K of x. So K of x has the greatest average rate of change. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this video. I am not going to make a separate video for the third page. Instead, what I'm going to do is just put that third page up as a key. If you have any questions or concerns about it, please let me know. Send me a message in Canvas or send me an email message directly. I hope this has helped explain a few things about